A significant part of the story of every family is the story of the family home. Today, the Dominican sisters celebrate the restoration of their family home. In the tradition of religious communities, we use an endearing term to describe the building that cradles the memories and life of a religious family, Mother House. As we celebrate the renovation of our Rosary building, we share with you the family story of our Mother House. The year was 1926. The Dominican sisters were celebrating the 50th anniversary of their founding. That same year, they asked San Francisco Archbishop Edward Hanna for permission to construct a new building here at Mission San Jose. Expressing hearty approval for the sisters' request, Archbishop Hanna wrote, "The time has come when new buildings are absolutely necessary for the continuance of your great task, and in the effort you are about to make, I commend you most heartily. The greatest present need is a new Mother House at Mission San Jose." Leading the sisters' efforts was Mother Amanda Bednarz, and this is amazing. She was only 17 years old and one of the 3 pioneer sisters who accepted the invitation of another San Francisco Archbishop, Joseph Alemany, to come to San Francisco and teach the children of German immigrant families in 1876. And it is she, 50 years later, who collaborated with laypersons, former students, to form an appeal committee and invite the sisters' past pupils to contribute funds to build a new Mother House. In 1927, on behalf of her sisters, Mother Amanda addressed a formal invitation, and it was addressed to the past pupils of St. Boniface School, St. Anthony's School, St. Elizabeth School, and the Academy of the Immaculate Conception to come and attend a meeting at St. Anthony's School at 8 p.m. to discuss the sisters' needs. And the pupils responded. Construction of the new Mother House quickly began. The congregation's annals between May 11th, 1930 and May 3rd, 1931, 1 year, describe 3 key events in the building project. The first was May 11th, 1930. The annalist wrote, "Breaking of ground for the new addition to our Mother House took place at 2:30 p.m. The day was ideal. The boys of St. Vincent's School, Marin County, in their red and white uniforms, came in a large bus to render the instrumental music. Imagine all the boys and all their instruments. St. Boniface Parish Men's Choir delighted the audience with some beautiful selections. Many former pupils with their children and grandchildren attended the ceremony. Hundreds of visitors crowded the grounds. The most memorable number on the program was the breaking of ground. The Reverend Pius Driscoll, provincial of the Dominican Fathers, blessed the ground and conducted the ceremony. And the ground was broken with a gilded shovel, especially prepared for the occasion. The second event was October 12th, 1930. The annalist wrote, "Laying of the cornerstone for the new building. Great preparations had been made to make the day a memorable one. In spite of drizzling rain, crowds had gathered. At 2 o'clock, all assembled near the corner where the cornerstone was to be placed. Postulants, novices, and professed sisters were all present. The girls of St. Mary of the Palms sang the national anthem. Mr. John Werner, our alumnus from St. Boniface School and chair of the fundraising committee, gave introductory remarks, and Father Apollinaris Joman, Franciscan pastor of St. Anthony's Church in San Francisco, vested in a cope, blessed and laid the cornerstone, made of Tennessee marble, a gift of the contractor, Mr. Rosary. A copper box is enclosed in the cornerstone and contains names of those who contributed to the building fund. Papers telling of the new mother house, medals and relics, names of deceased sisters were placed in the box and may be of interest in years to come. A sterling silver trowel was used by Father, the gift of the contractor. This is the sterling silver trowel. And in Latin, it reads that it's the Congregation of the Queen of the Holy Rosary, Anno Domini 1930. So we have our silver trowel of the laying of the cornerstone, heart-shaped. Sister Cecilia, you may guard the trowel. As the analyst suggested, years later, it is interesting to read a list of 9 major benefactors and the amounts they gave. According to records in our archives, the major benefactor was Mr. Joseph Mesmer, who gave $1,200, which now would equal $19,451. One must put the construction project in historical perspective. Just 1 year before the laying of the cornerstone, on October 29th, 1929, the stock market crashed and the Great Depression began. The construction cost was $107,000. And when the building was dedicated, it was almost debt-free. The third event was May 3rd, 1931. On that day, the 3-story Mediterranean-style building, designed by San Francisco architect Arnold Constable, who also designed this chapel, dedicated the new building. The building was dedicated. With enthusiasm, our sister analyst wrote, His Excellency, the Most Reverend Edward Hanna, solemnly dedicated our new mother house. 17 priests were in attendance. The celebration was a never-to-be-forgotten one. The ceremonies were beautiful, the program appropriate, the weather unsurpassable, and the visitors numerous. Don't you love it? All right there. Hundreds of our former pupils brought their children and grandchildren. Now, I couldn't find this clearly, but something I read somewhere said 1,000 people came that day. About 90 choir boys vested in red cassocks and white surplices came from St. Vincent's in Marin County. And Sister Flavia, the superior of the school, directed the boys' choir. Reverend Father Kennedy from St. Paul's Parish, San Francisco, brought his boys' band. Luncheon was served to the priests and our benefactors by a committee of women from St. Boniface, St. James, and St. Anthony's parishes, where our sisters staffed the parochial school. And the ceremony closed with solemn benediction. Following these events and the dedication, the sisters prepared for the opening of Queen of the Holy Rosary College. Classes began on March 2nd, 1931, and there was a schedule of 10 courses. At the conclusion of the first summer school session in 1931, the student sisters, who were 55 in number, prepared a special program. They gave tribute to Mother, who they knew had long dreamt of a college, but died 6 years before the college opened. But they reserved their special tribute to Mother Amanda Bednarz, who was present among them for the celebration. Reflecting on the construction of the college, the student sisters wrote, "Financial problems, too, presented themselves for solution. It was touching to see with what devotion and zeal our dear Reverend Mother Amanda met the situation with her well-organized plans for raising funds. It is incredible how she was able to conduct a campaign on so large a scale during a period of such economic depression. All we can say is God was the architect and he provided the funds. Reverend Mother Amanda deserves our grateful remembrance for this work." And I would say that today we still owe her a grateful remembrance. Today, as we celebrate the renovation of Rosary Building, we recall how our family home, this mother house, has served the sisters' life and mission, and how well it has sustained renovation to support the present and future needs of the community. I was here as I heard jackhammers being used to remove cement that holds up that building. I was also here after the Loma Prieta earthquake, when an engineer looking at all of the buildings said, I said, "How's everything?" And he said, "A little advice. If another earthquake comes, be sure you're in that building." And he pointed to Rosary. Initially, the first floor of the building housed the academic program of the college. It comprised an office for the dean, an office for her assistant, 2 regular classrooms, a science classroom with an adjacent science lab, a library, and a small auditorium. And the congregation's print shop was located in the southeast corner of the first floor, where it continues today. The front doors of Rosary Building are personally very significant for most sisters in the congregation. The beautiful oak doors with their metal strap hinges mark the site where many of us literally entered the convent to begin our postulancy, our candidacy as Dominican sisters. On the second floor of the building, the offices of the congregation's general administration were located. This included the offices of the Prioress General and the Counselors General. The largest section of the second floor was dedicated to hospitality and included 3 small dining rooms, a large parlor, and a gallery hallway, brightened by a wall of windows facing east. We frequently called this the Red Hall because of the red tile flooring. On the north end of the second floor were 2 guest rooms. One room was reserved for any bishop who may need hospitality, and for this reason, we commonly referred to that room as the bishop's suite. On the second floor, sisters welcomed and visited family members and guests. And for many years, meals were served to sisters in the second floor dining rooms because the sisters' rule of enclosure did not allow laypersons to enjoy meals with the sisters in their dining room. On the third floor, the new building had 34 bedrooms. One very large bedroom was designed for use as an infirmary for 3 patients. Because the congregation built a new chapel and infirmary, which was dedicated in 1956, the infirmary room on the third floor was no longer needed. Eventually, that space was the site of the first archive collection of the community. A precious and holy tradition occurred weekly on the third floor of Rosary. Every Sunday morning for years, our beloved Sister Conrada Meyer, frequently accompanied by Sister Teresita Kammermeyer, hallway was dotted with the watermarks of the holy water, which they sprinkled along the corridor during these ritual blessings of our mother house. From the earliest days of the congregation, the fine arts were treasured and promoted. Rosary Building features art by 3 sister artists. At the time Rosary Building was being constructed, an exceptionally talented artist, Sister Justina Niemierski, contributed her artistic skills to the building's decoration. Her sculpture decorated the exterior and interior of the building. The image of the Queen of the Holy Rosary at the top of the front facade. The sculpture of Christ and the archangels Michael and Gabriel above the main doors. The statue of St. Joseph on the southwest corner above the cornerstone. Multiple cherubs on the corbels throughout the corridors, and Dominican shields that adorn the external walls. Sister Justina also painted the fresco of Christ the King and 2 angels above the lobby doors leading to the first floor. On the 3rd floor of the residence is an oil painting of Our Lady, Queen of the Holy Rosary, by Mother Serafina Mertz. At the time, she was also Prioress General, and she brought her artistic gifts to that painting. And since then, night and day, a little light illuminates the image of Mary that she drew. It is indeed the centerpiece of our 3rd floor. Another artist whose work is preserved in Rosary Building is Sister Consuelo Tirado. An art student of Mother Serafina, she painted 3 large scenes from the life of Saint Dominic, and they are currently displayed in the Red Hall, which we now name Dominican Hall, the gallery on the east side of the parlors. In 1961, when a benefactor prepared to refurbish the parlors, she engaged an interior decorator who described the inspiration for his task. And he wrote, "The good collection of old paintings, which the convent owns, gave us a wonderful background and set the tone for much of the furniture and coloring." In the same way that the rooms in a family home assume new purposes as a family grows and ages, so too our Mother House building. At the time of its construction, the Rosary Building was adjoined on the south side to a 3-story building, a structure that housed the sisters and their orphanage when they first arrived here in Mission San Jose in 1891. When that building was demolished due to safety reasons, a new 3-story building was erected and dedicated in 1991. This new building provided a new site for the college library and the offices of the General Council. And another shift in the use of space occurred with the closure of our college in 2009. Today, the 1st floor houses the congregational heritage rooms and offices for liturgy, vocation promotion, Mater Dei Press, our finance department, human resources, technology, and insurance. The 2nd floor provides offices for our mission advancement program and the Center for Education and Spirituality. Our 2nd floor parlors are the places for sisters to visit with family and friends, and also provide a meeting site for committees of the congregation and small groups from local parishes, Catholic schools, and civic organizations. In 2013, the congregation began construction of a new St. Joseph Priory building located on the east side of our campus. Sisters were assigned to live in different areas around the mother house. At that time, the sisters living on the third floor of the college building formed a new community, which they named Rosary Community. And this decision influenced naming the entire structure Rosary Building. Today, the sisters in Rosary Community are the very grateful beneficiaries of the renovations that were completed last August. Bedrooms were reconfigured to provide 12 bedrooms with adjacent bathrooms and 3 new community areas: a kitchen dining room area, a community room with a panoramic view, and a contemplative chapel. When families celebrate together, they share memories, tell stories of how things used to be, and marvel at how things have changed. As a Dominican family, today is a time for sharing memories and stories, but most importantly, celebrating with gratitude, with grateful hearts, the renovation of our family home. 92 years ago, Mother Amanda sent an appeal to friends of the community to, quote, help the Dominican sisters at Mission San Jose to build their mother house, unquote. She said it so simply. She explained that the building would enable the sisters to learn, to teach, and educate youth in elementary and secondary schools. And that goal was accomplished through the course of studies at Queen of the Holy Rosary College for 75 years. And since the college closed, the focus on study has not ended, but found new energy and new purpose through the Sisters Center for Education and Spirituality, whose office is located in Rosary Building. Mother Amanda's appeal described the location of the proposed building within its rich historical setting here at Mission San Jose. Appreciation for the site's history and legacy continues, and in fact is revived. Our renovated structure will include space to celebrate our legacy, the lives of all the sisters who have named this place home, the Mother House. The first floor now includes expanded space for the congregation's heritage collection, and soon our first floor corridor will display images of our sisters' life and mission in California, Oregon, Arizona, Germany, and Mexico. Mother Amanda sent her appeal for a new mother house to all who appreciate the sisters' spirit and service. Echoing her appeal, our present advancement office addressed an appeal several years ago to our friends, which read in part, quote, we step out in faith to ensure the Rosary Heritage Building continues to serve the needs of the present and the future, to renew space to welcome and support communities of faith and service, to address the safety and operational needs of the 90-year-old building, to provide living space that will allow the sisters to age in space, to honor the architectural integrity and beauty of this historical building, and to support the present and future needs of the Mother House mission. Today, we celebrate the joy of reaching these renovation goals. To conclude our family story about our renovation project, I invite you to picture the facade of our Rosary building. Crowning our mother house is Sister Justina's regal statue of the Queen of the Holy Rosary. As a mother, she welcomes all who enter the building named in her honor. Her face is set to the west, and her eyes gaze to the horizon to the future. Toward that future, we Dominican sisters move with heartfelt gratitude for all of you, our friends, who embrace with us every need that we have asked you to support. May all of us, friends and sisters, always experience the protection and love of Mary, Queen of the Holy Rosary, patroness of our mother house, our home.
Thank you, Mary Catherine. And now, so this is a time for gratitude and blessing for what has been, for what is, for the generosity and skill that has made this restoration possible. For all of the life and mission and outreach will continue to happen in this sacred space. And so now I invite Sisters Gloria and Cecilia to come forward, and they will lead us in a litany of gratitude and blessing.
And we begin with the singing of our response. So wonderful. We bless you for the is yours. For all that has been, we offer our prayer of thanksgiving. In gratitude to Mother Serafina Mertz, Mother Amanda Bednarz, and Sister Justina Nemirsky for the vision, creativity, and courage they brought to the creation of our Rosary building. In gratitude to all who made this dream possible through the gift of their skills. The architects, builders, the artisans, the plumbers, electricians, roofers, and all of the team of laborers. In gratitude to Nicholas Jimenez and Joe Fisher of our Mother House Maintenance Department, who have kept and continued to keep this building functioning through the years, and for Mike Horton, our Mother House Facilities Manager, who oversaw the Rosary restoration. In gratitude to the Pica and Sullivan architectural team and the James R. Griffin Construction Company for their work designing and skillfully managing the restoration project.
Let us sing.
We praise you.
In gratitude for all who were part of Queen of the Holy Rosary College, our deans, professors, students, and board members who pursued truth and wisdom within the Rosary building for 79 years. And for all of our sisters who entered religious life through the front door of our Rosary building, and for all who have shared community life on the third floor through the years. For the vision, energy, and planning of those who have ministered within Rosary to support our life and mission. Our congregational leadership teams, the Mother House administrators and treasurers and congregational treasurers and finance office, the mission advancement teams,
our education department that supported our schools in California, Oregon, and Mexico, and our modern-day print shop provided for our publishing and communication. In gratitude, let us sing.
In gratitude for all of the guests, family members, and friends whom we welcomed at our Rosary entrance, and all who joined in festive celebrations and events on the second floor. For the many years that the first floor created space for our holiday boutique. For the parish, school, local community groups, and the Center for Education and Spirituality gatherings that found a welcoming space on the second floor. For our vocation ministry that found a home in Rosary, and for all who were blessed in their discernment and spiritual direction in the Spirit Room. For the space that held and honored our congregational treasures and archives. We sing in gratitude.
And let us turn our blessings on all to come. May the Rosary building continue to be a legacy and give concrete witness to our Dominican lived-in community and our mission to serve the young, the poor, and the vulnerable. May the creation of our heritage story within the walls of our Rosary building inspire many to continue to live and minister in the spirit of Saint Dominic, Mother Pia, and those who have gone before us. May all who work in this space be blessed with wisdom and insight, creative energy, and spirit-filled dedication. May they be inspired by our mission and claim that mission with authenticity and love. And may all who gather in this space be blessed and refreshed by a warm welcome and an enriching spirit-filled experience. May they find peace and inspiration to bless them on their life journeys. And so we sing.
So wonderful. We praise you. For is your love. And finally, to each of you, our dear friends, for all you have done to help us in this rebuilding of our Rosary Center. It is only through your generosity, love, and prayers that have made this possible. And so now I invite our sisters to please stand, and we will offer our dear friends the Dominican blessing, and it will be sung, please. May God, Redeemer, heal you, and may God, the Holy Spirit, fill you with life. Thank you. Amen, Jesus. Let the church say, I can't hear you. That's better.